Hello, World Tank Blizzers. It's a Littlefinger. Hey, gonna be doing a full tank review here on the AMX 1357, which you can see in the garage. Tier 7 French light tank. Yes, this is premium. It recently hit the stores last week. French Invasion, Bastille Day. A lot of great tanks in there, but this was one of the few that I was unable to give my full opinion of because I hadn't purchased it yet. So 5,000 gold gets you the tank, and a couple of Britannia Panther crates as well. Tier 7 light tanks, some really great tanks from LTTB to Type 62. Behind my ugly mug is the M41D. So a lot of really great tanks, and unfortunately, guys, I'm saying this tank here falls short. Yes, it's a little unique in the sense that it's got a 6 shell auto loader, but to me that makes it even more difficult to play because you're dealing with a very low alpha damage gun. So let's run through the consumables here: repair kit, multi-purpose, and engine power boost. Provisions, I'm running coffee and croissant. Protective kit and improved fuel. Protective kit is something I don't typically run, but because the tank is so small, crew was very close together. I felt like, protection there was more important than getting perhaps a little extra speed. Ammo 66 and 24, making sure we're buying that with credits. And then equipment. The pen on this tank is quite nice. So I'm running improved vents. There's only AP and APCR here, so we don't have to worry about the 10% for HE or anything like that. So improved vents, improved modules, primarily here to help from getting damage done from ramming, improved optics, running with the supercharge. Oftentimes you'll find that you're going to have to snipe with this tank. So running that supercharge there so we don't have pen loss over distance. Improved assembly because we don't have any armor to enhance. Engine accelerator. Running the vertical stabilizer, I find myself shooting on the move. If you don't find yourself shooting on the move, go ahead and load that refined gun. Toolbox and consumable delivery system. All right, guys, so here's blitzstars.com, and as I told you in the intro there, a lot of really great tanks at tier 7 light. But if we go through real quickly, just looking at the stats, 2239, it's going to put you middle of the pack. You've got 160 pen, like I said, it's top of class, but here's the downside. 90 is your average damage per shot. You've got 6 shells in the magazine, 1 second between each. So you've got to be on target for at least 5 seconds in order to fully unload your clip. Whereas if you take a tank, say the M41D, you can take your shot, you can hide, reload, and repeat. So that makes the AMX 1357 here much more of a critical tank to play with better map awareness, understanding when you can be exposed, when you can't, when you need to reload that clip, and so forth. We'll just scroll through here. Very nice shell velocity, aim time, right in line with these other tanks here. 7 degrees of gun depression. As far as speed goes, fits right in there. Power to weight ratio is a little on the low end, so you're going to feel that when you go to accelerate. So I would consider that one of the bigger downsides to this tank, along with the fact here that you have no armor whatsoever. So I think that's probably why LTTB is my favorite of this class, just because you're going to get some ricochets there. You're not in this AMX 1357. Does come with 150% credit coefficient. Looks to be that the early players are playing this pretty well, but obviously this is a very, very small player base playing it right now. Certainly expect that to increase over the next few weeks as more and more of you buy this very rare tank. All right, guys, here is the first battle I'm going to show in the AMX 1357 Oasis Palms. You can see we are top tier supremacy battle here, which typically means that the team is going to split into different sides of the map. But my typical playstyle here with the light tanks in general, especially with this tank, is get out early, get your spots in, um, and then make a determination if you need to relocate and support one side or the other. Now, what you'll notice with this tank and having that 5 seconds from shot 1 to shot 6 is that you're not going to be having many targets that just stay still for 5 seconds. I'm going to allow you to, fully unload that clip. We'll show that here when we see the Panther stop to look at a target. After that first shot, he's on the move. So we bounced 2 and had to force a reload. And this is a question I get quite a bit. For those of you new to the auto reloading world, if you basically just kind of double tap on the ammo bar there, it will force a reload. So now the Magnus and M6 here are 2-on-2, so lending my 540-ish damage clip onto the backside of these guys, catch them unawares, so to speak. You'll see here that I'm gonna end up with 2 shots still left in the clip. The M6 is gonna get safety. So again, second clip in a row that we are unable to get a full clip in, right? And well, at least 1 or 2 of those bounced. So I'm gonna sneak into B here. Our meds kind of got destroyed on the other side because, well, they were outnumbered. The shot comes in onto the rocks there. And so I'm going to cap B and then run up here to A. And basically, our heavies just need to hold B. So, right or wrong, I'm not sure if that decision to leave the meds was right, but they certainly folded pretty quickly. So we'll go ahead and get A here using the tank speed. And now I'm going to tell the guys, look, just hold B for me. Hold your position and hold B. Okay? All you guys have to do. KV1S really is out of position there. He's going to get spotted up way too easily. He needs to be in those buildings to the left of the KV2. And I am going to go around and get some spots in for these guys. AMX 1357 lights our guys up. And now, since they are kind of out of position, they are going to rush B. We're going to get the Panther crossing here. And one shot goes. One of the rare occasions where I'm able to fully unload a clip. But again, only 4 of the 6 go in. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have circled back to A and used the mounds there to shoot the Panther in the P43, because as you know from the early intro here for the tanks, they've got a Dicker Max that's unspotted, and there's their Bulldog. So anyway, one of the few instances where I'm okay trading shots there, because I'm getting 6 in, 527 damage to his 1, putting him on a 1-shot. P43 is not paying attention to us, so we'll get shots in here. But again, not fast enough to get the kill shot. Now, if I'd have been the AMX 75 and had 3 shots, might have got the kill there. But again, poor decision on my part here to let the Dicker Max come on over, trying to get a track in there. But no such luck, so we're kind of at an impossible situation here, trying to get away from the Dicker Max. And as we watch our KVS, KV1S, who's still out of position, gets shot here by the AMX, and just goes down without a fight. But there you have it, 2K damage in the tank by positioning and map awareness. But again, not a lot of support from the team, but that's Blitz in a nutshell these days. And we'll go on to the second battle. All right, guys, so here we are, Fort Despair. Again, top tier, Supremacy. Always have an Annihilator, always have a Smasher. 2 of the top played tier 7 tanks out there. obviously for good reason. We're going to push on up quickly here into A, keeping an eye behind us to see if we've got support from our team. And that'll dictate whether or not we push or retreat. I'd like to just kind of stop here at the corner and then just do a few little peeks. Did they come to the middle? No, no one there. So we've got some spots on the heavy side now. Did they all go heavy? Let's not get overcommitted here. We are spotted. So let's back up. Let's try to angle. And we have an agent here. We take one shot from the agent. Well, we're going to put several shots into him, for sure. Again, waiting to reload, angling up. AMX is headed this way. And you can see, even though we get the kill there, the difficulty with having so many shots to aim, to make sure that they pen. So this is a difficult tank to play. Just barely missed that shot. So here we are sitting with 4 shells in. Let's go ahead and force the reload because we don't have any shots. We'll go ahead and sit into A here and just go ahead and get the cap as action's going on around us. I just want you to look at the accuracy of these shots here. Not extremely accuracy here at 180 meters. And to prove my point, you know, about the Annihilator here with his 3 really successive shots, you know, watch what he does to me here as I'm still chipping away, 90 damage each, leaving us with 600 hit points. It was a good team, you know. This was more about the accuracy of the gun and spotting without being too aggressive. I could have easily pushed onto the VK, the agent, and found myself, you know, exposed to the Annihilator. But this is the nice thing about that tank with 6 shells. That poor Smasher, he couldn't even hide himself. And yeah, we took one from the T-29, but again, I'm okay trading a 1 for 6 scenario here. It's a lot of red on that T-29, and that's a tier 7 heavy tank. Wait till you see some of the tier 8 tanks. So one of those lopsided battles, but we do manage to square out here. 1962 in damage. Let's see. Yeah, 24 for shooting the track. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next battle. All right, guys. One more battle here at top tier, and I promise I will throw in a bottom tier battle here next. But Falls Creek Supremacy again, and you know, I just couldn't pass up this game because, you know, when I'm talking strategy on the AMX, you really need to get those spots early and be prepared to retreat. Even if that means taking a shot or two, it's better than staying in this, you know, in a 1v1 or 2v1 situation, and you just can't out DPM anybody. So, like I said, you know, getting those early spots, this position here allows you, while I'm not going to be able to get a shot in on anybody over there, it'll give me a, you know, a proximity spot to anyone coming to A, and obviously as that LTTB, you know, spots up, we get an idea that he's there as well. So AMX 1357, he's like, oh, didn't get the memo that, yeah, P43 and I are sitting here. So assume that he is clipped out and try to get all of my shots to go in. There we go, 548 in damage. We do take one from the LTTB. And at this point in time, I guess the AMX has given up hope. And so he's going to crest on over. and allow us to get 2 shots in there. So, like I said, we've lost a good bit of health already, and the LTTB's over here. My teammate is very low health. So we empty the clip, and here comes the T-23E3. Thankfully, not the best of players in the world, but really thought that the P-43 should have pushed onto the LTTB, running away from the T-23. But I'm now trying to come in here and get a kill shot on LTTB, but he's running away too. So this is the point where I say, all right, let's cut and run. Let's get back to my team. I've got no support over here. Even if this means I might take 1 shot, if we can get to these rocks, hopefully we can get cleared. And so that's the upside to this tank. Being able to get into positions, to get out of positions. But you had to put that into your mindset. You know, a typical heavy player doesn't have that option. And we make sure that we get the kill shot on the Annihilator. And one of the things you've probably noticed in these battles is that the aim is not spectacular, and if you're off just a little bit with this, you don't have the pen, especially against some of these bigger, heavier tanks. So I thought this was a pretty fun little battle here. SU's out of the game, so it's 3-on-2, and that T-23, like I said, kind of out of position. Not able to get a shot at him. Don't want to unload my clip. And at this point in time, you know, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Getting a little frustrated working this gun depression. And so he's going to come at us. And we're going to drop adrenaline. You can see here it's 2-on-2. And right now, I don't care if I take a shot from the T-23. I just need to get out of here. I need to do a better job of driving to get out of here. But we got to get this LTTB out. We'd be in a much better situation here if, you know, even if we're both 1-shots, we've got a much better shot at dealing with T-23 2v1, right? So mission accomplished. We get the LTTB out, and now the T-23 is going to be engaged. And so we'll just come in here and finish out our clip on the side of him. And that puts us over 2,000 damage in the tank, and quite honestly, this is going to be a difficult tank to ace. That was a level 2. I haven't even done a level 1 yet. I think I'm about 72% win rate on the tank right now. So it's hard for me to say that this is a bad tank, as we'll drop into the last battle here that'll be as bottom tier. Alright guys, so here's the last battle, Naval Frontier, nothing spectacular, but I did want to just throw in a game here as bottom tier, just so you guys are like, oh, he just cherry-picked all of his best games as top tier. Yes, obviously this tank does perform much better as top tier, not bottom tier, but again, we're going to employ the same strategy, get to the middle of the map, we'll get our spots in, but then when we figured out where the rest of the team is, we're going to relocate and try to do as much damage, if not damage, chaos as possible. So using this last battle here as these two guys just YOLO straight into the map, middle of the map here. And I checked after the battle. Both these guys are 50% win rate players. Not sure what they were thinking, but really not a good strategy to come straight into the middle this early in the game. As you can see, damage with my assistants just racking up here because I was the first person to spot them. So yeah, back to being able to talk about this tank a little bit. I don't think it's for everybody. I think it's an extremely difficult play style. To me, you know, biggest weakness is obviously you're only doing 90 alpha damage per shot. So you saw even on LTTB with 100 hit points, I still had to get 2 shots into him in order to clear him. And here we go. Here's a Chimera. Look at all that red. Yeah, that's painful, ugly. Okay, so that AMX 1375 is going to shoot us. Yeah, we took 300 damage there. And I think that's a perfect example, right? So there's the tech tree variant of this tank who can get 2 shots out in 2 seconds and do 300 damage. whereas you need 5 seconds to get all 6 shots out, doing 540 damage. Um, and really, that is what makes this tank so difficult to play. You have to be very aware of your map, where everybody is. But then you get into a situation like this where you've taken out those guys early because you were able to spot them, and we're gonna sneak up now behind some of these tanks, and just look how many shots it takes just to finish off this FV301 who had 300 hit points. That was 4 or 5 shots. So anyway, we're gonna reload, and RHM's not looking at us. Unfortunately, we don't have HE on this tank, but we'll get another 4 shots in there. Unload our clip into the rest of the T69 here, and guess what? RHM still hasn't turned around, so we'll just YOLO up to him and get the kill shot here. Still got 3 shots left. So yeah, it's fun tank. Don't get me wrong, but because there's so many good tanks at tier 7, it's certainly not the best premium tank, even the best tech tree tank. I think I would rather drive the LTTB over this, as we experienced some problems with my iPad not wanting to continue to drive, and probably miss out on at least 1, if not 2 shots on that Chimera there. So, yeah, I obviously now know a little bit more. Hopefully you've seen a little bit more in the play style of these tanks. It's a difficult one, right? But obviously it's a rare tank. It's kind of fun to get out every once in a while. Is it worth 5,000 gold? Probably not. So you might want to just hold on to that gold and save it for something a little bit bigger and better. So anyway, guys, with that, I'm going to sign off. If you're enjoying my content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.